cars behind you.
We appreciate you, though, and you're right. You're talking on truth there.
Thank you.
And tell them to call back in if they catch it. We're sorry. And I know we talked through this a bit. You know, as you can see, we always going to take these calls. You know, we talked through this a bit, and I appreciate you, sister, because you're hitting on truth there. And what you're talking about is a national agenda that we see trickling down here. And the problem here in Jackson, to this sister's point, the problem here in Jackson is that's not an agenda that should be able to exist or survive in a city that's over 80% Democrat. First, let's not even talk about racial lines at all. In a city that's over 80% Democrat, a Republican agenda of which John Horn is pushing should not exist here. And the Republican agenda is, how do you deal with crime? Put up your mayor's response to crime. Put up how he lines up at City Hall with every crime force in the state behind him. But put up how when we reached out to every organization, there was a reaching convention he invited Operation Good to, Strong Arms went to, we talked to some groups that weren't invited to it. But this was a few days ago. Up until then, you've seen no efforts to reach out to the community, the organizations that have proven an ability to walk into your streets and stop violence from happening. And sometimes these organizations are just what you call older brothers. The same ones that get blamed for all of the violence, that are out there legitimately stopping it. Listen, I've witnessed it. In this city, when something violent happens, brothers get to working that are not part of any organization, and sisters get to working to stop it from spilling over. And they're generally over 35. But they're not given a position in the city. So how disconnected are you from the violence then? How disconnected are you from us? If you don't understand that there's a whole legion from Philadelphia to New Orleans, they go and pick these brothers between 30 and 50 up when they get out of jail. And I'm not saying pick them up like that. They get them as soon as they get out of jail. Hey, man, we've got a grant for $5 million. And all it asks us to do is work on the recidivism of young black men between ages of 15 and 25. Let's talk about nonprofit structures. A structure this own damn city won't adapt. So a nonprofit will go to 15 black men in the city, 30 to 35, and they see that they can move through their communities comfortably. Don't nobody mess with them. But why don't you come on here and sit over these young ones that we can't stop from doing things? A simple model. Look at Strong Arms of Mississippi, a brother that was locked up for murder, came back and has built so many young people in this community that have actually came out of school and done good. Stop shooting, put down guns. You know how many lives that saved? Look at Live With Purpose. Look at Operation Good. Look at these churches. Look at Chill Will, who has only employed people that are out there getting hurt by the things happening in that community. Chill Spot. You don't have to put these people on billboards, but they're doing it. When one of his employees died, it was personal because it was a young man he cared for. This ain't McDonald's. This ain't Calvin's world. You got black people really trying to save this community. And then you got John Horn calling a violence conference, and he barely invites any of them. And you think we're going to sit here and be quiet. You done lost your damn mind because that disconnect's not here with us. We really invested in the same people that are not here tomorrow. And we're really losing in our families and in our personal backgrounds. We're really connected to it. And the disconnect that this mayor and this administration has is greater than that. And I'm going to say it, is greater than that of the guy from the state that runs the public safety. He has a better understanding of Jackson and of what to say on film than John Horn does. At least he understands every time he speaks, oh, yeah, we got to get some programs. He does nothing to do it. But John doesn't speak of programs to help the youth and help the parents until a baby dies. That's facts. And I don't care how you feel about it. Go review what he said and call in 601-948-5950 and tell us we're wrong. That's what we want to hear from the 2 or 3 John Horn supporters that keep calling back to back. We want to hear you tell us we're wrong. We want you to get us off air. City Council, start doing right by the people. And what platform do we have anymore? You sick of my mouth? Start doing right by these people. And guess what? I don't have anything to talk about. Power structure of Jackson, the rich power structure of Jackson, you know who I'm talking to. Stop calling up each other and saying lean on them. Asking why they're talking about us. Try to stop them. Them little phone calls you make just stay live because we stay live. And you've been doing it since we came on this show. Call up, hey, can you stop them? Can you stop them? But we speaking what they speaking in Southwest, North, Northeast. Who you stopping? Because the people still thinking. Oh, you just don't like it being said because you know how intelligent your people are. You know how smart your people are. And you know once they understand what you're doing, they're going to look back at the last 30 years of their experience and they're going to put 2 and 2 together. And they're going to start saying, hold on, we could have had Costco's. I got a cousin that work at the Costco's out in Ridgeland. Start to think, you ain't got no friends in Ridgeland? Ask them how their life been since they work at Costco's. And look at yours. And ask yourself what would have been different. We're not playing here with things that happen and trying to make someone look bad. Reach out to some, go look online at the benefits Costco's offered, and they've offered that the whole time. Remember, they're the ones when Target said we ain't good with DAI. Costco said we are, come over here. That's who would have been here. That's the type of company that would have been here. What type of flexibility would they would have had with a city trying to build itself back up out of Jim Crow, which Jackson was looking at when we took over in '85? What type of flexibility would they have had 20 years later with young men and young women just learning how to work on the workforce? This is the company that boasts DEI today. They want to develop just African Americans that haven't had a chance. And this is who you stop from coming here. Virgie Lindsay, David Blunt, members of the community, right along with Bishop Kuda by way of not relinquishing a building that could have done much more good for his flock. And the only reason that you're put on the spot today on that is because you had the nerve to show up yesterday at City Council and walk through a sea of your residents saying, please don't bring these data centers to Jackson. So stick your chest out and to yell out, a downtown Jackson partner that Charles Tisdale, rest in peace, sued for stealing money from the city. And to be proud that you're sitting on that board with Kane Ditto. John Horn, and we call him John Horn's godfather because of the interaction. Now let's talk to you about why you hear these words we say if you ain't been with us the whole ride. You're going to have to go back to Mr. Charlie. Because that's how John got in this business. That's how Benny got in this business. Mr. Charlie stepped back from Presto and from the union business, where at one time he was leading black men into a bathroom and saying, we're going to piss next to white men, and they chased him out with pipes. Then he put his son in the business, and something ain't smelled right since. 1993, that man came in. 1996, John Horn against every black business owner in Jackson, Mississippi. SCLC. The advocate, Charles Tisdale, against every black person that had power. He says, I'm going to go ahead and sign this business improvement district legislation. You wonder why we sit on this? Then do your homework. This is why Jackson State's not speaking up. This is why Tougaloo's not speaking up. This is why Valley State's not speaking up. This is why Alcorn's not speaking up. Because the moment one of those political leaders speaks up and says, yeah, when you look at the business improvement district, it murdered Jackson. Then it's attached to John Horn. Cowards. Cowards. And you wonder why these young people don't care about you, don't love you, don't respect you, would shoot right across you in the street. Why wouldn't they? What in the name of God have you ever shown them of a spine or courage? And then you got the nerve to tell them to put the gun down and box in the middle of a gunfight. You a fool. You telling the little ones to box in a gunfight and you can't even swing and your hands ain't tied. This ain't 1919. But these coward black leaders sitting up here letting it all go. And you just ain't used to someone pointing it out. Ain't nothing you can say about it. That's why you keep calling the radio station saying, why are you letting them talk like that? That's that talk. Because you done did it. Now we sitting here dealing with it. And you got the nerve to walk in the court and say on my chest, you dumb Negroes don't know what downtown Jackson Partners used to be CCI. How would these Negroes know that, says Crude Up. Of course I could walk in and say I'm with downtown Jackson Partners. They don't know about Stephanie Parker Weaver. They've taken everything out to schools. All of the bigwigs in Jackson have made sure to shh. We've got groups letting John Horn be the damn griot during Kwanzaa. We good. These young people don't know who Sister Hurricane was. They just think Charles Tisdale had a newspaper. They don't know he sued these people that are proudly sitting in front of us talking about we love Jackson. And that man said, if you love Jackson while sitting on downtown Jackson, partner, whoo, Ric Flair, boy. That takes some, you know what, cojones. I give you that, Bishop. You got those. Maybe backbone spine when it comes to the white supremacists you don't have, but when it comes to those, you have those to walk in the city council, stick your chest out and say, we are against the moratorium. We being downtown Jackson partners. When every black man that had spine said, we don't want these people here. Now run tell that, Jackson, Mississippi. Why don't you go look for some leaders that got the courage to stand up to that? Because he walked through all of y'all and flapped his coat, and I maybe exaggerate, whoosh, like Michael Jackson. Get out my way. Beat it. I'm going to Flowood. I don't know where he was going, but that's why the only way I could think of where the car was headed. I'm going to Flowood, where the roads are paved nice. And John said it, your mayor said, I'm good in Rankin County. There's not, where are the cease and desist? Where are the liability charges? A year and 6 months we've been on air, and you haven't seen, and I'm angry because that means that there's too much truth to what we're saying. And if there's truth to what we're saying, why aren't we standing up together? Why were 52 people at the city council meeting yesterday? And there's 130,000 people in Jackson, 115. And there were 50 people. That's why Vernon Hartley thinks it's okay for him to vote against a moratorium. You ain't gonna do nothing. Who gonna check me, boo? This is Real Housewives right now, playing out in Jackson, Mississippi. And you got Vernon who gonna check me, boo. LaShia who gonna check me, boo. And then you got Hartley. I'm sorry, you got Parkinson. Hi, wave. I'ma still stab you, but I'm wave while I'm doing it. You got Foot. I'm the old racist Archie Bunker. You already know I'm racist. I got back in office somehow with a slim margin over 2 women who were flowing in the stands, and I won by 2 or 3 votes. But you want to talk about 50,000? That's why the name of this show is Make It Make Sense. You talk about the nickel while we take the dollar. And who the straw boss? Well, Bishop Crudup let us know what side he's on today. I'm with Downtown Jackson Partners, and if you love Jackson, whoo, sir, you must think we're very ignorant. And we don't understand that CCI and Downtown Jackson Partners are the same people. Y'all stole from us, Downtown Jackson Partners. You got held accountable for it. You had to get the money back. I know these articles are only available in the Northside Sun archives. You got to pay $16.99 to get there. Miseducation of the Negro. Why isn't WLBT running that? Why don't they make these available? When during that time, our school system was decimated because you just came off of vouchers where schools like Jackson Academy had to be kicked out of churches because they were so racist they wouldn't let any black people in. And our school systems were getting books with the word nigger scrawled across it and pages ripped out. You're talking walking up to the 80s. So you knew we didn't have that information. WLBT, WAPT, why aren't you educating the people on what happened before they had access? Because an ignorant Negro is a subservient Negro. And they continue to do what you need them to do. And these are the books of those that enslaved us and hurt us. Now we got black folks doing the same thing. So excuse our French when we call John Horn a plantation Democrat. That's radio language. There's some other words we'd rather say about a man that continues to implement policies that hurt our people. And we've got no qualm saying it. But we're here for the people, so we speak to the people. We speak facts. And we let you say those other words. If you think he's a hero, like his father was called, then you call him a hero. If you think that he's hurting our city, then you say that. But the one thing you won't do is continue to be ignorant when you turn this station on. Because we were ignorant and we learned, and we've got to share the information. Each one teach one is the premise. So reset where we're at now and where they want us to be. They want us to be focused on $50,000. Where we're at is that our water is now in the hands of the most conservative court in the United States of America, the Fifth Circuit in New Orleans.
All they had to do was reject the lease.
All they had to do was reject the lease. LaShia Brown Thomas, Tina Clay, Vernon, shout out to Tina Clay because she's standing strong as she can against these data centers, the only one I see doing it. But all they had to do was reject the lease. Brian Grizzell, reject the lease. They didn't. Now guess what? It's out of their hands. The Fifth Circuit of New Orleans has it, and they're going to try to twist that story like they did something racist to us. No Brian Grizzell. No LaShia Brown Thomas. No Vernon Hartley. No Kenneth, no Show Stokes. And no Tina Clay. And no Ashby Foote. And no Kevin Parkinson. There was no racist state in this one. They've been where they've always been. They want it. Gimme. All the city council had to do was reject the lease, and they failed to do that. Then Judge Wingate tried to step in and do what he could at the last second, but it was too late. Now it's with the Fifth Circuit Court in New Orleans. So that's where your water's at, Jackson. We've already lost all control of the water board. Want to know why am I so hard on Mayor Horn? He told us this is the best deal for us. He said $200 million in debt would be transferred. This is why there's no cease and desist, Jackson. This is why there's no lawsuits against us, Mississippi. Because we just talking articles. He said this is the best deal and we'll keep control. We lost all control and there's no talk of that $200 million. It's still sitting on Jackson. And now Bishop Crudup is saying let the data centers in. You ain't got the water no more. Now let's bring in the data centers. We drove right out of Jackson.
Well, guess what? $50,000.
Hey, split that up amongst the three. 15, 15, 15. You got WLBT running this story every 7 minutes, it seems like. They done took the same story and put 3 different headings on it. 3 of them played. 2 plus 1 played. 4 minus 1 played. They done put it everywhere they could, so you don't pay attention that your water is sitting in the hands of the most conservative court in the United States of America. And at the same time, a bishop, a black bishop, is forcing. We fought back here. You got the state saying, show us one black person is for this, because we don't see no one. Excuse me, it's the bishop. There's one right here. I'm for it. And that's what happened. Am I right or wrong, KP? Did anybody else stand up and speak for that thing? At any hearing? He spoke for it. So now it's almost over. And Bishop going to traverse himself right out of here while you deal with the fallout. I bet you he won't be listening to them loud noise in the data centers. Bishop, where do you live? Are you going to be listening? Are you going to be dealing with the water and the toxins coming in the water? Bishop, are you going to be dealing with the high water bills? You need to answer all them questions since you decided that we need it as a city. So thank God for you as an audience, and thank God for making Make Sense Jackson. Because today we were able to focus on these sneaky little things they tried to pull in the middle of the night while getting us to focus on something that's already done. Those decisions are made, those plea deals are in, they waiting on sentencing. But what they don't want you to look at is what is live like a bacteria. Your award is about to get taken away by the Fifth Circuit. Your airport is right now at the end of a lawsuit about to be taken away. Your schools have shut down. And you have a mayor whose key team is bringing in data centers. Make it make sense, Jackson. Same place, same time tomorrow. For my co-host, Tariq Abdul-Tawwab, we love you, Jackson. We out.
Damn shame out there. Still up.
Man, yeah. You know, I had to say, give a shout out to the people. I promise. I had too many folks that reached out and said, "Can y'all stay live and just walk out?" And when all of my sisters say that, then I start saying, "Okay, we could probably stay live and walk out. We could probably walk out." So the community said we want to protect, we want to be with you the whole time from now on. And so I told them, I said, "All right, you know, we gonna walk you out. We gonna walk you out. Let's get out because we do have someone else coming in." I'm spilling water on myself. That's why y'all see me looking crazy half the time. But we walking out of the infamous on 90.1 studio. You see the young man. And if y'all listen, I always say that if you all ever